NCBA. We're here to give you our monthly synopsis into everything going on in Cold Club sports. Remember, you can watch all our broadcasts on our Suite 301 page, across all of our Facebook pages, and on our YouTube channel as well.
And make sure to like our Facebook pages and follow our Twitter accounts for all the latest news and media. And also subscribe to our YouTube channel for all the videos from around all of our leagues and to watch previous episodes of Suite 301.
In case you're tuning in for the first time, do not adjust the settings on your TV. Christian and I do have gray facial hair, which I'm just realizing now. So,
Yes.
But welcome to January, everybody. Happy New Year. Hope the holidays were well to you and your family. Everything went safely. We're excited to be back here because the turn of the calendar page means
The grind.
the grind begins. So, every day between now and June 1st becomes a little more exciting as we get closer to whether it be baseball, softball, basketball, regular season resuming, playoffs are looming, national championships coming. It'll fly by in a heartbeat, and we hope that you'll tune in to future episodes and join us on that adventurous ride. That's
Great.
it.
Yeah, hey. Yeah, let's
Let's
get
dive
that. Got
into
me all jacked up and juiced. Let's go.
Let's go into some baseball. Who we got?
NCBA. We got Garrett Semek on set to talk, the specialist, NCBA specialist, to talk to us about all the things going on. Like Sandy said, the turn of the calendar means spring season's starting up here. I think officially February 1st is when we're kicking off. But before that season starts off, we got a lot of things happening. So take us through the NCBA and what's going on.
Yeah, so exciting times. Already starting to get academic letters in. It's kind of that time of year, so
Yep.
it's crazy stuff. But
February 1st is when teams can start counting games, right?
yeah, we have numerous teams playing February 1st across D1, 2, and 3. So we're looking forward to it. Guys want to get out there and start playing games.
All right. Sweet.
And we got our first top 20 coming out. Here's the Division 1 top 20 is coming out, the preseason January 23rd.
That will be out this Thursday. As a bunch you probably have seen on Facebook and Twitter, Eric has been releasing our D1 team previews for all regions. The final one will come out tomorrow with the poll coming out on Thursday. And then D2 has started now. The Great American was actually just released a couple minutes ago. And then they'll be released all through next Thursday with the D2 poll on the 30th of January.
Outstanding. So a lot of reading, a lot of do your homework out there. Take a look at the sites, check out what the teams, how they foresee their future is going to play out this season. I know I've done all my homework on.
I
the
did mine
D1
as well.
side.
We kind of conferred.
Exactly.
Yep.
We have the honorary dignitary.
No.
No.
I know what you're trying to say, but I don't know.
Words outside my
yes.
realm.
Yes.
Outside my spectrum. But, as people that get a vote on the D1 top 20 poll, you got to do your homework. You can't just take last year's rankings and regurgitate them. You got to see who's bringing back a lot of guys, who's got a lot of teams I read about bringing back entire pitching staffs, which is always a plus.
That is a big
And then
plus.
there's other teams out there that are going to completely reload. And then they're going to make us all us voters look like fools. But
That's what it's about, though.
That's why we play the season out. So
Exactly.
good stuff there. So
What kind of housekeeping stuff should be teams? I know you mentioned academic eligibility letters, getting those in. But what other things should teams have on their radar?
Yeah, the two big things are rosters and academic letters. So teams, great time right now is to start doing that. Once you have your rosters finalized, get the academic form filled out, send it to your academic advisor, your club sports department, or the registrar, because we can't activate your roster until you have that done. And any game you play without an active roster is forfeits for you guys, and that's what we hate to see.
Yep. No, yeah, you certainly don't want that. And we see it every single time, teams waiting to the last minute, procrastinating, waiting till Friday to get that academic eligibility letter in. It comes in. There might be a couple guys that forgot to register. And then, we're getting text on weekends and things like that, and things aren't getting done. So take care of it as soon as you can. The sooner the better. Make sure all your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed. And getting that stuff taken care of earlier so you can just focus on baseball is the important thing.
Yeah, exactly. And then the other big reminder is dues. The dues are due February 28th, so now's the time to start, whether it's putting in a request to your club sports department, because I know the schools sometimes take a while to get the money out of your bank account, or reach out to us if you need a new invoice. That's a big thing to get taken care of now.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, yeah, like we said, season's getting started here in, a couple weeks?
Yep.
Illinois is on their way to defend their championship at the D1 level. At the D2 level, it's now it's escaping my mind.
Pitt State was
Pitt State,
defending
yes.
D2,
Now
but they're
they're
at
so there's
D1.
going to be an all new new Division II national champion, and then at the Division III level,
Millersville won it last year. They're up at D2
They're at
now,
D2, so
so
another new champion at the D3 level. So good luck to all the NCBA teams. Exciting time, and you guys should all be very excited with the season on the doorstep. So.
And I'm going to add one more thing. Officially welcome Boston University back to the NCBA.
Nice.
They signed a couple weeks ago. They've been on Facebook, Twitter, and everything, but the first official announcement on Suite 301 of welcoming them back. And anyone else that's still looking to join, we got a lot of teams in the process and hoping to add more to that.
And they didn't join for the 20 season.
Not
they joined
for this
for
spring.
2021.
Yes.
They're the
next
first
fall.
of the new teams to come on for the next season.
Correct.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah. Always good to get an early jump on the recruiting. So, all right. Well, Garrett, next time we talk to you, I'm sure we'll have a few spring baseball games under our belt to talk about. So.
Well, he'll be back on in a little bit to talk about some spring training stuff.
Oh, excellent. All right. Well, then let's move on to some softball action, NCSA softball, and we're going to bring Savannah Aarons on the show, calling in from her home in Colorado. Savannah, welcome to Suite 301.
Hey guys.
Good day. Happy New Year to you. We did not see you over the holidays, but I'm sure you and your family had a great holiday time with all those kids running around.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Well, Savannah, let's talk. We got a big announcement. National championship heading back to Columbus.
Yes, absolutely. The press release just went out yesterday, so hopefully everybody got a chance to see that on social media, on the website. This will be the final year of the most recent renewal contract that we signed with Columbus, Georgia. Possibly some other signing news coming at the World Series this year, so keep an eye out for that.
Nice.
We're super excited about the World Series in Columbus, Georgia this year. Back to the South Cummins Softball Complex, they recently just went over a $4.8 million renovation to the stadium and the two adjacent fields. So we are really excited about being able to play on this like brand new facility, basically. USA Softball, because you know softball's going back to the Olympics, right? They actually just played a huge showcase there at this renovated stadium right after we were there in May. So it's kind of cool that our girls are going to be there on the same field that the Olympians are.
Yeah, that's awesome. And how many years is this in Columbus total?
So 2010 was our first year.
So this is the 10th year there? 10th or 11th? She's counting on her fingers.
No, this is 11.
11, yes, yes.
I know. It always seems like it should be easy math.
Yes.
20 minus
It's
10.
not, though.
Well,
you
no,
gotta-
that's, the Columbus, Georgia South Commons Sports Complex is just top notch. And obviously, if the USA softball team is heading there to do a showcase, obviously teams are going to know that facility is top notch. And I know last year was going through some renovations, but this year for 2020, it should be state of the art. And the softball teams, I'm sure, are very, very excited about going back there.
There's no doubt any team that's already made it to our World Series and played in South Commons facility, they know how spectacular it is. For any teams out there that have never made the World Series, you got to find a way to get there. I mean, you're just going to flip. If you can get your team that far down the road and get to a spot in Columbus, I mean, it's going to be the best softball experience of your life. It's a beautiful facility. It's a great town. It's the Columbus tourism staff goes above and beyond to make sure all of our out-of-town teams feel welcome and have a great experience. And with this new format over 4 days, and now that you're back to 8 fields online, it's going to just be a spectacular celebration of championship softball over those 4 days.
Yeah, I fully expect to be a more competitive tournament. You know, this past year we only had the 5 fields, so it was still more spread out because we had the fourth day added in. But now we're going to have all 8 fields going, so all 16 teams will be playing at the same time again, and it's just going to be this awesome, relaxed feel, but so much more time to play the best softball that you possibly can. I can't wait to see how competitive is this year. I know I was talking to the Naval Academy head coach, and they are looking forward to trying to be the first ever team to three-peat for a national title. And I'm really interested to see, is that going to happen for us, or is this competitive nature of the tournament, the big 4-day extension, really going to come through? And maybe their stamina that they've had in the years past, maybe with all the rest that everybody else is getting, it's going to be more of an even playing field.
Only one way to find out. Head down to Savannah, Georgia. Or to Savannah.
Yeah,
Head down to
exactly.
Columbus,
Savannah,
Georgia, in May 14th through the 17th.
Yep.
Well, congratulations. I know teams, the logo is up for all the viewers looking. That's a clean-looking logo. I like that. I know the peach softball is always incorporated year after year, so that looks great. But congratulations, teams. Yeah, you should be really eager to get on the softball field and hopefully get down to Columbus, Georgia, May 14th through the 17th. Any updates, news updates as far as housekeeping items on the softball end, or is it very similar to what we were talking with Garrett on the baseball side of things?
Yes, it's pretty much the exact same thing for softball as it is baseball, because it's the exact same time. Rosters, get those academic eligibility letters in, like he was saying. And if you haven't paid your dues, there's only a handful of you that didn't take advantage of that discount, but they are due at the end of February. So it is time. We've actually had our first conference series this past weekend for the spring. USC took on UCLA, so it's already started. Softball's going in full swing.
Good stuff.
And when's the next poll, top 20 poll coming out?
In February.
Okay. All right, because I know when we closed out December, Illinois was sitting on top with Delaware right at their heels in the number 2 spot. So February, any ideas? Like early February, mid-February?
Yeah, it's usually the second week in February. So we will have had actually quite a bit of softball played, especially in California and those southern schools, Florida, Georgia-ish kind of areas, because they can play softball now, basically.
Right. All right. Well, good stuff, Savannah. We look forward to get your next update in February on Suite 301, and congratulations on returning to Columbus, Georgia.
Thanks.
All right.
Bye, Savannah.
Bye, guys.
Bye. All right, so what's next up on our itinerary? A little
The
spring
spring training showcase.
Yes.
Boom, boom, boom. We got Garrett Seemack back on the show. Thank you for sticking around, Garrett.
Glad to be back.
Yes.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Well, so, yeah, I mean, spring training, we're talking about baseball's right around the corner. I mean, spring break for these teams is we're on the goal line, basically.
It's almost here.
So spring training's in full swing with the planning and things like that. So take us through what's going on spring training-wise right now.
Yeah, so the two big things for teams to know, all payments for all 3 showcases, they're due January 31st. That is the absolute latest you can pay without a late fee getting added on. So please be sure, get those payments in. If you have questions, contact myself or Tracy. We can always be reached. We can help make sure you get the right invoices and make sure your payments get taken care of. And the other thing is hotels. The Chase Suites is the only one that has had their block officially closed. Everyone else, as you can see on the screen right now, shows the dates for when you guys need to contact and get those hotels booked, because you have to stay in one of these 5 hotels, or else you can't come down to spring training, or you'll pay an additional fee for that. So please just get on that. Contact Alec. He can give all hotel information. He knows that very well, and he can take care of you guys.
Yeah, remember it's spring break. It's spring break for people that aren't there to play baseball. Tampa gets busy. These rooms are going to fill up if you miss this block, and then you're going to be finding yourself sleeping in your car at the field.
Yeah.
So be sure to. We've held some rooms open for everybody. Make sure you take advantage of it and get your rooms reserved.
Yep. And then the next big thing is schedules. Tracy, Alec, and myself, we're working hard on those schedules. It's a pain when you got 20-some teams each week, and you're trying to figure out, okay, these guys need this day. So be patient with us. We're hoping to have it out in the next week or 2. But stay tuned to social media. We'll be email blasting it to everybody. So we'll get those out as soon as we can. But our goal is within the next week or so to get those to them.
And then you got the coaches packets with all the important information that's going out, but that'll be sent out electronically.
Yeah, we'll send out an email about 2 weeks ahead of your spring training weekend. We send that email out, gives you all the information that you need for the weekend. My contact information, Tracy's as well. We'll be down there the entire time. We leave in about a little over a month. We'll be down there with you guys, enjoying the springtime, I should say. It's pretty much summer for them. And just we'll want a great experience for all of you guys.
Good stuff. And then, as far as getting down there, rental cars. I know a lot of the teams, one of the big advantages for these teams going to spring break is the team bonding, and the teams are coming from Minnesota and things like that, driving 24, 30 hours down there. It's a big team bonding experience for them. So we want to talk about Avis, our official rental car supplier of the NCBA. Teams want to book rental cars to make sure they go through Avis.
Yeah, make sure you reach out to Tom McManus within our office. He can help you guys book all of that. We have a code that will help get you guys discounts, and it also waives the under 25 fee. Saves a lot of money for you all, and it'll give you a great discount on the rental cars. And then speaking of other sponsors, Rawlings is our baseball sponsor. Make sure you're reaching out to Justin Rickert within our office to make sure you have baseballs. Each team needs 3 baseballs for each game to make sure you can play games, and without baseballs you guys aren't playing. So that's a big key.
Okay. Well, good stuff. If any, I'm assuming registration is closed, and at
We
this
have a
point,
couple teams sending in paperwork we're still waiting on, but they should be in this week. But other than that, yeah, everything's closed. If you are a team that just changed their mind today, make sure you call us now, or else we're going to start scheduling without you. But other than that, yeah, everything's done, taken care of, and final stage now of planning.
well, good. That's it's always exciting to get down to Tampa, and I always know when you get off the plane in Tampa, Florida's got that smell. It's a good smell.
Yeah.
For the most of the time.
Salty ocean smell.
Yeah, salty ocean. You're
Sand
in
in
a
your
tropical,
toes.
and when you're coming from Pittsburgh and it's rainy and musty and gross, it's a refreshing smell, and it's an exciting time to be down there playing baseball. So I'm sure all the teams are very excited about it as well that are participating. So any questions about spring training, if you're a team participating, you can always reach out to Garrett or Tracy. All their contact information is on the website. But we are going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be back with you to talk about club football. And welcome back. Thank you for sticking with us here on Suite 301. We are going to be talking club football here, the National Club Football Association. We're going to have our Director of Football Operations, Joe Schaefer, on, I believe, video call, which will be, I don't know.
There he is.
Hey.
Joe.
How we doing, guys?
What's up, big guy?
Well, welcome to the tech world. This is your first video call, right?
Just when I thought I couldn't get any uglier, man. I see myself on this on this camera. This is bad. I got to hit the gym.
Hey.
Okay.
You
Well,
look good.
yeah, you need to get rid of that Buffalo Bills sign behind you too. All right.
Yeah,
so
happy life.
So let's talk about the NCFA a little bit. Big thing coming up is the league meeting here on the 29th. And it's going to be unique because we've always had a brick and mortar league meeting. This is the first year that the team said, hey, let's make this an online thing, catch up with the times with the rest of the Cold Club sports leagues, baseball, basketball. They do the online meeting. Talk to us about this meeting a little bit.
Yeah, so it was voted upon last year's league meeting. Teams want more participation in the league meeting itself. I think in the past years we've had half the league at max show up for the brick and mortar meeting. We're hoping with the Facebook stream that we can get more participation, more opinions, more rule suggestions. And it was voted upon by everyone that was there last year. So I'm pretty excited about it. I'm sure we're going to have to work through some things since it is the first year of doing the league meeting on Facebook. But, all the teams are aware at this point. You must join the NCFA Facebook group in order to be able to stream the league meeting. But I'm looking forward to it. It should be an exciting night. We have a lot to talk about, and hopefully we get a participation level that we've never had at the league meeting.
All right, sounds good. And the next item to talk about, All-Americans were released in December, but next up is the Academic All-American Awards. Talk to us about when those are going to come out.
So the deadline to submit those to me is this Friday, January 25th. I'm going to turn that around, get them posted this weekend, probably Saturday or Sunday, depending on how many filter in this week. We don't have a lot right now. Hoping to get a couple more nominations from teams. But, we're going to get those completed by the end of the weekend. That way we can present the academic All-Americans during the league meeting as well. We're obviously going to post them to the website, post them to the Facebook group. We're going to share them with everybody. But, the teams that are listening right now, just please get those submitted. You got until Friday, 5 p.m. to get that turned in and emailed to me. You got to include transcripts as well. All the details about how we select academic All-Americans and what we require have been included in emails, posted. You guys should have that information right now. So.
All right, sounds good. Last little bit of housekeeping. Are you still chasing down some LPAs renewals?
We're missing about, I believe, 5 LPAs. I've been in touch with a lot of those teams. They're going to be coming in the next 24 to 48 hours. We got 1 or 2 stragglers out there that might be still enjoying Christmas break. We haven't heard from them. We got some potential new LPAs coming in as well, so that's pretty exciting. I don't want to release information about that yet till it's official. But yeah, we're basically at 100% returning right now with teams that plan on coming back in 2020. We're only missing a handful at this point.
All right, sounds good. Well, Joe, I think that's all we got for the football segment this month. But I appreciate you taking the time to download the app and getting you on the show, seeing your pretty mug on the screen with us. So, all right, let's move on to some women's basketball action.
Sounds good. I like that. Let's do it.
What do we got?
Verhoff.
Verhoff.
Yep, glad to be on the show this month.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you. Yeah, so first thing I think we should start with our big announcement. We are bringing the first ever NCBBAW National Championship to Erie, Pennsylvania, Gannon University. The Hammer Mill Center is what they call it. Sandy and I actually had the pleasure to go down there, and we got to look at some arenas, we got to look at some venues, and we ended up deciding on Gannon. It's awesome. It's a great facility, awesome downtown atmosphere, lot to do in Erie. I think our teams are going to love it.
I love the what do you call that? The marquee, where you walk in off the streets of downtown Erie. You got this marquee like you'd see at the Benedum Center at the theater, and that's the Hammer Mill Center. And you walk in there, and it's a very old building. It's a very old court, but it's very well maintained. I mean, it is up to date. It's just a very historic place, and you see it from their banners. It looks like, imagine the gym from Hoosiers, except renovated real nice.
Yeah.
And
it kept its character.
Yep. You've got that good character, and I think it's gonna be a great place. And what was it voted? Like the toughest place to play.
Toughest place to play for opposing teams in Division II basketball. It's been voted that by opposing coaches multiple times. So
wow.
Great atmosphere.
It is going to be a great atmosphere. So fans are going to have a good time there. And then our partnership with Erie Sports Commission is outstanding. So we've got a bunch of hotels already bidding on the contract to host our teams. We're going to get some there's good restaurants in the area. It's right on Presque. Lake Erie's right on Lake Erie. You got Presque Isle State Park right there. It's a really beautiful area. I think our teams are going to love it. We're real happy with what we've gotten put on paper already. For some teams wondering, hey, how'd you end up in Erie, Pennsylvania? The teams in our preseason discussion said they want it to be centrally located. Well, we've signed our 52 teams. We threw all those pins into the map and found the center point. And the center point is actually Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We scoured Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for facilities, did not find any that were available and met our quality needs. So we expanded our search a little bit and ended up, right up 79 from Pittsburgh is Erie. And that's where we're going. And Mark Generette and his crew, greased the wheels to make it happen. So we're excited. That's where I'll be spending my mid-April.
Yeah, that is exciting.
Basketball championship.
That is exciting. It sounds like even the picture that was flashed up on the screen looks like like you said, a really, really nice gym. I think these teams are going to be excited about playing in a NCAA Division II quality venue. So
And the facility, the Hammermill Center, is actually attached to their student union building, like where all their eateries are and so forth on campus. So I think we'll have a lot of foot traffic of Gannon students wandering over to see what's going on. Locker rooms for all the teams, so teams will have their individual locker rooms, and just should be outstanding. Can't wait.
good, exciting stuff. Good work there.
Next thing, let's talk about. Well, let me ask you this question, Alec, real quick. When is the next top 15 poll coming out?
Next top 15 poll is going to be out not next week, but the week after.
Okay, because this weekend coming up is our first
Correct.
weekend of getting back into conference
Correct.
play. So week and a half from now, you'll be looking at the new top 15 poll coming out.
Right.
Now let's preview some of those upcoming games.
Yeah.
This month, these conference games that are on the schedule coming up. What's on your radar as some big matchups to look out for?
Like you said, this is the first weekend back, so games are starting back up this weekend. We have games all over South Atlantic, Great Lakes, North Atlantic, New England. All those areas are playing. A big one I see this weekend is I would look at Central Michigan at Ohio State. Ohio State's leading the conference. Central Michigan is second. So that could be something that ultimately decides it. Down the line. So we'll see. Ohio State's also been the unanimous number one. So we'll see if Central Michigan can knock them off, and that'll be right in time for the next rankings. So see if they can shake that up some.
I happen to oversee that conference, and I had a phone call during phone day with the Ohio State's president, and they're geared up for that game. They're real excited that it's at home. They feel that gives them a little bit of an advantage, but they know, that's really the big force to be reckoned with in their conference. Yeah. And they realize they're probably playing for the right to host the regional playoffs.
Right.
They might meet each other again in the regional playoffs, but there's a lot on the line this weekend, and they can't let their guard down. They got to bring their A game, and she said, every girl's getting pumped up for this weekend of basketball.
They should. Being the number one team, every team is going to give you their best shot. So
absolutely.
Advance on to week 14. I think a big matchup. We're looking at Harvard at UMass Lowell. I think that's going to be a big one. Both of them sitting on top of the conference. Not too many conference games have been played so far, but UMass Lowell's also had some non-conference thrown in there, so we've kind of seen them get some games played. And they both look like good teams from what I see. So, could be another one where ultimately down the line may decide some things. So we'll see how that goes. Also in Week 14, we have our Pacific Conference starts. Those are the first games for our teams out in California. We haven't talked about them too much. Don't forget about the California teams. We're excited to have them actually get to play some games. As San Jose State was the first one they signed on a long time ago. So they've been waiting all the way up until now to play their games. So I'm excited to see what they can do. Then if you go to Week 15, sticking with Harvard, Boston College at Harvard. Like I said, Harvard sits atop the conference with UMass Lowell, but Boston College was the unanimous number one to start the season. Preseason unanimous number one, and then they dropped 2 games.
To Vermont, right? Came out the gate swinging.
But, I'm not giving up on Boston College yet. There was a reason they won over 20 games last year, according to their team preview. So,
right.
So, they are a good team, and I'm looking forward to see if they can bounce back from that as well.
All right. Good stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess in closing on the women's basketball side, the big thing, with conference play starting back up, get your rosters in, get your new academic letters turned in so we can get your rosters cleared and eligible for these upcoming conference games. And make sure you note there's the roster removal periods coming up where you can take up to 3 people off your roster if they qualify. I know SUNY Cortland has already gotten me their paperwork from their club sports director about their 3 drops. They're just waiting for that. The 25th is when that starts. So
I've had a lot of teams ask about that as well.
I could take them up. Don't miss the deadline. I mean, I've already told Cortland, I'm like, hey, thank you for this documentation. I can't drop these 3 girls till the 25th. If you come in the day after the deadline, they're going to stay on your roster. So take advantage of it. Stick to your guns. Stick to the rule book, and you'll be okay. All right, I think that's it on the women's basketball side.
One last thing I want to touch on actually pertains to both men's and women's. Before we get too heavy into
Great
just
transition
men's.
piece
then. So perfect for that. We've actually started recruiting for the 2020-2021 season. It's kind of a tongue twister, but we're actually in our early discount period right now. What that means is if you join on from now until the end of February 29th, you get a discount on your new team registration fee. New team registration fee, it's the only payment that's due up front, so you get a discount on that. I've reached out to dozens of teams all over. As the teams are getting back into school with the new semester starting, I'm starting to hear back from some. A lot of interest. I do have a few verbal commits. Not gonna release any names until we get that paperwork in. But yeah, do have some verbal commits, so we're very excited about that. Also, if you know of any teams that you think would be a good addition to your conference or your region, please send them my way. Give them my contact information. I can be reached at alec.veerhoff@coalclubsports.com. You can see it on the slide there. Send them my way. Give me their contact info. I can reach out to them. But we would love to keep recruiting, get more teams on in this early recruiting process before we get super busy. March, April, May, we have all of our championship events. So we'd like to reward these teams that come on early, start the domino effect where more teams just follow.
And just to clarify to people why we have an early registration period, and take advantage of it. I mean, if your team's thinking of coming on board for next year as a new team, take advantage of this early period because this is when you can save some money for your team. The reason we have it is because once March 1st gets here, we got spring training for baseball and softball. April, we're talking about basketball national championships. May is baseball, softball, regional playoffs, and national championships. March, April, May are just bonkers around here. So if we can get our basketball recruiting, and this goes for Garrett too, who's doing the baseball recruiting, and Savannah doing softball recruiting, for teams that'll come on board in January and February when we're still, not crazy, you're doing us a favor. So that's why we offer a discount to teams that sign on early because, basically you're driving all that workload to a time when we actually have time to deal with it. So take advantage of that. There's considerable savings.
Yeah.
Talk about saving your team a couple $100.
Right.
And that's it's half a set of uniforms.
Yeah, and you get that payment out of the way now, and you don't have another one until October.
Right.
So.
When your performance bonds due. So, all right, good
As
stuff.
soon as you join or you get that pay, you can take advantage of all the sponsors and things like that.
Exactly.
So.
Even if you're not playing for this season, if you join now, you can still take advantage of Phenom Elite or Wilson, any of our sponsors that we have.
Absolutely. And so any questions, new teams, contact Alec Verhoff. Did we get your contact info up
Oh, it's
on the
up there.
screen?
There it is.
Excellent. One more time.
There you go,
So,
Benny.
basketball recruiting, Alec Verhoff, Director, Basketball Development, men's and women's. All right. Well, I think that's it. That wraps up our show.
Yeah.
No.
No?
No.
Yeah, that was just the transition piece. My bad. I made some notes. I got
Got some
back.
big-
We're on to men's basketball. Sorry.
Yes, sir. And then we'll close it up.
Yeah,
Save the
okay.
best
Sounds
for
good.
last, right? Yeah. Like Alec and the women's side on the National Club Basketball Association, big announcement that was released on Wednesday. The national championship is going back to South Bend, Indiana at Indiana University South Bend. This is our third straight year being there. It's an incredible facility, Indiana University South Bend. It's got the main court there, and then it has two auxiliary courts behind it where teams can warm up. 4 locker rooms, plenty of space, concessions, all of that. So it being our third year, we're really excited. We have some familiarity with the area, with Visit South Bend and Nick Cleva. They've treated us really, really well, given us some great hospitality. So we're really excited about going back. There you see the 2020 logo, which I'm really excited about. I like that a lot. But, yeah, April 17th through 19th, which is going to be here before we know it. Teams are starting to play. We have regionals going to be happening March 28th and 29th for all 6 different regions. So lots going on, lots of stuff happening. We have games starting back up. We had games starting back up last weekend, but really getting heavily involved into the games this weekend. So, and then moving on. So,
And for those that aren't aware on the men's basketball side, there's been some changes in the format of the regional playoffs this year.
Yes.
We've expanded some of our regions have gone from 3 conferences to 4 conferences, which means those regional playoffs, instead of being 4-teamers, are now 8-team regional playoffs. The locations of those regional playoffs is now more a central location site. So you're working on the process of that.
Yep.
I think that's the next topic you're going to get to.
Yep.
They're now going to be centrally located within the region, so that it's not, it's
You're not waiting till the
right. Yeah.
last minute basically to figure out
You're
where
going to know where regionals is going to be
Yes.
before you find out if you're in or not.
Yes.
And then the other thing is, now we've compressed some things by making, regions of 4 conferences. We're now down to 6 regions, which means there's now 2 at-large bids to the national championship. So
Yes.
2 teams get a
which
a
I
second
really
chance.
like. I know there's some
Gets a
debate
second
on, if the at-large or expanding regions so that the regional tournaments are larger, or starting a new region where there's a new regional champion. But with the 2 at-large bids, and some of these regional tournaments being they're all single elimination, but some of these being 8-team single elimination tournaments. If you have an off day, or maybe a guy's injured and you lose, you still have that opportunity, that hope that you might be able to get an at-large bid. So I do like the at-large bids. I think it's exciting. I think teams are going to really be excited about it. But yeah, regionals, I'm really excited with the way they are working out this year. We do have one already locked and loaded. Georgetown University is hosting the Mid-Atlantic Regional Tournament. That's March 28th. That's at Yates Fieldhouse on the campus of Georgetown University. It was hosted there. I believe it was the Mid-Atlantic was hosted there last year as well. Not exactly sure who participated in it. Georgetown did, but really excited about that one. And I encourage all you guys, getting a lot of emails like, hey, anything going on with regionals? Where's the regional location? Follow, I don't even know if a lot of teams know, we have a regional page, website, and a national championship page on our website. Soon as things get finalized, those pages get updated. So make sure you're on the website. There's a tab called regional. I don't know what the exact tab name is, but it's a drop down, and there's regional tournaments and national championship, and you can get all that information. So I encourage you to visit our website. And like I said, when things are finalized, the website will be updated. But as of right now, the only one that is locked is the Mid-Atlantic, but I am working diligently to get the other 5 locked up, and once they are, teams will be notified, and the website will be updated. So make sure you stay tuned for that. So,
All right. And got any upcoming games of interest?
I didn't do exactly what Alec did, but we're really in the thick of it this weekend. I think 30-some teams are playing, so there's plenty of teams getting games in this weekend. They're scheduled to play. I know the SOPAC is, especially the East, is playing a lot of games this weekend, so they were a region that hadn't, like you said, we don't want to forget about the California teams. I mean, in Arizona, but they're getting their games started. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, plenty of games this weekend, and should be exciting.
All right.
Finish
Sounds
it
good.
out.
And then the next top 20 comes out
this
23rd.
Thursday.
This Thursday. All
Yes,
right,
sir.
good
It'll
stuff.
be January 23rd, this Thursday, week 13. Last we saw was Ohio State sitting up atop of the rankings. I don't believe they haven't played this past weekend or this weekend, but we'll see where they land.
All right, sounds good. Well, I think, am I clear to close the show now?
No. Yes, you are.
Yes. All right, so that's our show for this month. But before we go, we do have a big announcement. The big announcement is that we are going to start bringing you Sweet 301 basically twice a month, every other week starting in February. First show will be February 11th and 25th in February, and then we will go every other week from there on, moving forward throughout the rest of the season. For some of you that are aware, we used to have a digital print monthly newsletter called the Scouting Report, and we've decided to scrap the Scouting Report and bring you more video media updates on the league. So I'm excited about it. I think we're going to be able to capture, when we get into the heart of the season with Sweet 301, we usually can talk about the weekend before and then the weekend coming up. Well, we ignore 2 weekends of the month. Going every other week, we're basically going to be able to cover that and
Be able
really
to touch it all.
get more video callers in, more teams involved, more updates from around the league on matchups that happen, upsets as they occur in more real time. So stay tuned. Sweet 301 coming at you next, February 11th at 3:01 p.m.
Yeah, so thank you for tuning in to this episode of Sweet 301. As always, do not forget to follow us on Twitter and Facebook. The next episode is Tuesday, February 11th at 3:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Facebook Live. Join us then to catch up on everything that's happening around Cole Club Sports.
And our address here at the office, 850 Ridge Avenue, Suite 301, Pittsburgh, PA, 15212. Anybody would like to mail us some Just for Men beard dye?
I like mine.
You like your
Distinguished
gray?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not liking mine, so I think I might have to go. But, all right. Well, I think that's it. We're ready to go?
Yes.
Remember,
It's a game. Have fun.